Yeah, we're not moved by trial. Oh,
Maybe not. I thought it was about. Have they gone out back yet? If it was, I didn't know if they made it to do that. Back to school. I got it online. No, that's what I did. She's got a bunch of coffee. I paid for it. She's got some around. Take.
No, just a.
I thought it'll be over by next week.
Because you'll put right back and cut them up. All
They need to make like.
take us all chopped off.
Yeah, it's a slim try. They have slim everything out.
Yeah. So tomorrow I got.
You don't want to try.
Exactly.
A lot of my.
He's like, you should take it to the house in Bolivar. No, wax it. But he's like, yeah, that's where he's like, you probably stay over there next. That's where you do my lake house.
Call this meeting to order, and please. You stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. We have an idea, right? Here. Alderman Jerry Shannon.
Here.
Alderman Jerry Robert Thomas.
Here.
Alderman Amber Volta. Yes, here. Go ahead and make the motion to approve the agenda for May 14th, 2024.
I'll second.
There's a motion to approve the minutes for the May 14th, 2024 session. It's been seconded. All in favor? I need just a minute to finish reading, please.
Oh, for the, just the agenda.
Sorry, the agenda.
Yes,
Misspoke.
sorry, yes. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Is it possible to shut the door because people in the back can't hear them up front with the rain?
I don't think that's a whole problem.
No. Let's say that. Unless they.
So again, AC.
Scott, you got an extra.
I'd like to go ahead and make the motion to approve the minutes of May 6th, 2024.
I'll second.
Motion has been made to approve the minutes of May 6th and seconded. All in favor?
Just May 6th.
Just May 6th.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries. I would like to make a motion to amend the official minutes of May 19th, 2024. May 9th, sorry, I'm jumping ahead. 2024, to have the correct vote of closed session. Currently, it reads the incorrect vote. Open session, sorry, the last page.
Second.
So we have a motion to approve them with the correction of page 5. I believe that's on a vote line. Change one to a nay. Right, yes. We have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion carries. The agenda includes a public statement. Sarah Witham.
I'm not sure why it's written.
Here, and then introduce yourself for Donna, please. Oh, pardon me. Thank you, sorry.
My name is Sarah Witham. I did put through an agenda request. The agenda request did not say it was a public statement. I'm not really sure where that come from, but I am just going to yield my time to Lauren. Lauren at caller 10.
Hi, I've met a lot of you in this room. For those of you who I haven't met, my name's Lauren. I'm an investigative reporter with Fullerton and Fox 49. I am working on a story about 2 state-level investigations into the city of Humansville, and my calls to Tracy Mason, the mayor, have gone unreturned, so I figured this would be a good public forum to address some of those questions, which I'm sure are of public interest to a lot of people in this room. The first question, which is critical to both of the investigations that I would like to clarify, is Sophia Piper a current employee of the city?
Yes.
Okay. And is that a recent hire?
It was a rehire of a vote of 2-2. The mayor broke the tie.
Okay. Was the board aware that Sophia is named in both of the state level investigations at the time of her rehire?
Yes. No.
Okay. And Sophia's here tonight, is that correct?
That's me.
Hi, Sophia. Hi. So some of these questions it probably would just be easiest for you to answer if that's okay. So looking through a lot of the financial documents, which are at the center of one of the state investigations, that public funding was misused. I see that, Sophia, you were reimbursed thousands of dollars in mileage and other reimbursements over the course of 8 or 9 months. I'm wondering if you could answer where you were driving that you racked up thousands of miles on the city's dime.
I go back and forth to the bank weekly because we can only have a certain amount of money here in the building at a certain amount, for a certain period of time.
And
So I have
where's
to drive back and forth to the bank. Bolivar.
in Bolivar?
Mhm.
Okay. And do you know about how many miles that is?
Yeah, it's like 40 a round trip, it's 40 miles.
Okay, so are you making multiple trips in one day?
No,
Okay. Were other employees reimbursed mileage?
anybody that drives a vehicle, I believe, is all reimbursed.
Anybody who drives their personal vehicle in city business gets refunded at the federal rate.
Okay, I just didn't see anyone else reimbursed for mileage other than Sophia, so I just wanted to clarify. Now, Sophia, you are also named in an elections fraud investigation. Did you tell people that they couldn't run against Tracy and others in April?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so you gave the proper paperwork to anyone who asked.
I was not the city clerk and I was not in charge of that.
What were you advising the city clerk?
No, it wasn't. I mean, was the one that was giving the paperwork out. I showed her how to put the packets together. I was the one that notarized because I'm the notary.
She's the one who filed the complaint against you, so I just wanted to make sure. Who was writing the reimbursement mileage checks?
City clerk. Not me. I don't do that.
And who was signing them?
You know who? Mayor Pro Tem, city clerk.
Okay. And then I would like to address the mayor as well. Tracy, Mayor Mason, were you aware that Sophia is accused of preventing other candidates from running against you in April?
No. I signed up. That's all I know. And I really don't believe that she was doing.
Okay. I have tried to learn this from watching some of the previous council meetings, but I'm a bit confused, and I was hoping that you could clarify what time periods you were city clerk prior to becoming mayor.
From 2018 in November to 2020 in May, I was the full-time city clerk, utility clerk, tax collector, everything. There was only one person in this office. I was released. They brought me back 18 months later. And I worked for a few months, putting their bank statements back together. And then after that, I was here just a few months and I went to a different entity.
Okay, so just what time would you say you departed at that point? What can you
I wanted maybe a couple of hours a week training. May, maybe.
Of 2020.
23. Just 2 to 3 hours a week, probably. I would come in, see if they needed any help with the state reporting or whatever they were working on time frame wise.
She resigned in May of 2022.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, sorry,
Not
22, not
I know
23.
because I applied for the city clerk position.
Sorry, I just had a couple other notes here. I understand ARPA funding and locating all of the ARPA funding has been a topic of discussion. Can you tell me what, I believe there's a few $1,000s that's been spent from the ARPA bucket. What has that been spent on?
The board approved in January of 23 to upgrade its technology through the water system and through the computer system in this building.
Okay, and so just the one item?
That was a single project at that time. Since then, they have also voted on a fire truck to help the fire department. And then they spent some monies that they had not really voted on, but it was discussed in the meeting for the community building roof. Because the community building roof needs to be replaced.
Never clarified this part. It was just figured.
Can you guys talk louder? We cannot hear you in the back.
So
Point of order. What's your point of order?
Citizens can't hear what you guys are saying.
If she says point of order, she has to tell me what for. Be acknowledged before you speak out. if you would.
Okay, can I be acknowledged? We cannot hear you guys.
Okay, when we
Why don't you?
spent that money for the fire truck, there is, I'm not sure which ones you have the copies of. We did approve one fire truck for 26,000 some odd dollars for them to go look at. And the report that was given to the highway patrol has that amount in. We never purchased that fire truck. That fire truck sold before they went to go look at it. And so that information is false. Because I was on the board at that time.
The other thing I'm trying to make sense of, and I know the board is too, but I didn't know if, maybe through the review of documents, this has become clear. There are a few points in here where $100,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars seemingly disappear and then reappear or never reappear. For instance, the general fund increased by $393,000, $974.33 between October and November of 2023. Just wondering if anyone could answer why or how that possibly changed by that large amount of money.
I cannot. I was not here.
Trying to get bank records since I started.
That is one of the reasons why there is an investigation. Alderman Thomas and I noticed discrepancies. We've asked and questioned. We've got kickback from, the employees, the remainder of the board, and not able to get those questions. So we took it to our chief of police to take it to the next level to get answers for the taxpayers at Humansville.
The other thing that I wanted to ask, and having taken this to, I know you guys have an accountant, and I know there's been discussion of taking this to the state auditor. I took what I had to an independent financial expert who suggested, without a doubt, asking the state to come in and audit the records to get them straight, because he suggested that the fines and violations that would accumulate if finances are not in order would far outweigh the cost of an audit. Has there been any further discussion of asking the state to audit?
Robert Thomas made a motion to get a state audit. I second that motion. It was rejected by the remainder of the board. The mayor broke the tie of a no.
Clarify, that was when we were first sworn in. Weren't even privy to any of this. It has not come up again in open session or anything else for discussion. I also like to clarify that they have all of the bank records, minutes, and everything from January of 2023, current, and some of 2024. We weren't able to get those bank records at the time of the ARPA review meeting because only one person's on that account, so we didn't have it. We do now have it.
Is anyone a financial expert?
Absolutely not. Bookkeeping. KPM is our source. I gave you the information.
The last thing I want to ask, and I appreciate everyone being open and answering my questions. Actually, a couple more questions. Was mileage reimbursement ever used as a reimbursement for something else, but written down as mileage?
Yes.
Can you elaborate?
Mileage reimbursement checks were wrote for city officials as Christmas bonuses, and that is how they have been doing it for years, I was told, as of this year. I received a check personally for a Christmas bonus, and it was documented as a mileage reimbursement that I turned over to the highway patrol.
And then the other question that I would like to ask, I understand there is a new city clerk, is that correct? That you, hello. Are you bonded?
Yes. I'm a notary.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, I appreciate it.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, so at the workshop, we reviewed the budgets for the general fund and only the general fund at this time. Did anyone have any other questions for that, or would you like to table that until another session?
I would like to make a motion to table that for next session, so we can have a little bit more time to go over that thoroughly and properly.
Alderman Shannon, did you have an ARPA update? Oh, sorry, motion. Motion was made, is it second?
Robert, second.
I didn't. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Alderman Shannon, did you have something that you wanted to discuss or?
Not pertaining to the ARPA per se, and things to discuss on the North Ward side.
Okay.
But that's after. later.
Ask a question about that. At the last meeting, you said packets would be available for the community to pick up. Is those, are the packets available for community to be able to get and review what was turned
They will
over?
have to do a request with Donna and she will charge them.
We have to charge the taxpayers for information?
Copies are being charged. Yes.
Okay.
We have. So, we have the approval of the department reports. Do we have any other reports other than the ones that were at the meeting on Thursday? And if not, if you don't have any questions for them, do you want to go ahead and approve those reports? Do any of the department heads have anything to add? Oh, sorry.
So, I did what Robert or what I was asked to do and did research regarding, the repair or replacement of a motor that we have for the lagoon. One of them was gonna cost, one of the repairs was gonna cost $4,700. That was simply the repair. In order to get roughly 4,700. In order to buy a new motor, which I made copies for all of you, a brand new motor would be $4,700. Brand new, that's shipping and everything. Now, we do have the one motor there that can be repaired for roughly $2,500, the 2,400. Oh, exact amount. $2,469.71. We really only need one working by-standing motor at this point. The only reason why I did this was because $4,700 motor repair, 4,600 and some change, we will have bring back 4 parts for spare parts on the rebuild. We don't need to spend the extra $4,700 at this point to replace that motor because we'll have the one working by-standing motor.
Were you able to get any more quotes? I'd asked if you were, to
The
get
only-
a few more quotes for us to price check.
This is the only company that I found that could find the exact motor we need for our.
So there's nowhere else in the United
Not-
States that can make this?
They'd have to build it for much more than what
Well, that
you're
was,
talking about possibly spending. The only other motor I found was a whole assembly that we would have to buy, the whole assembly, and we would need 4 of them that would work with our current system at over $7,000. So each.
I would still like to see some quotes to be able to price check. That way we're not just spending money on one. If we have an opportunity to get it cheaper,
We're not gonna get,
I would like to be able to see quotes from the companies.
I understand that, we're not gonna get another motor rebuilt cheaper anywhere. For warranty. I'm pretty sure these are, I don't know if these are under warranty.
Usually there's a small warranty, but they rebuild it.
But you don't know that 100%?
Well, they usually give it warranty for so long.
Now the one that can be rebuilt, the cost on that's, you said it's 20, a little over 2,700 somewhere.
No, it's right at 2,500.
25.
Yeah.
The other one is the one that's.
The other one that we were gonna bring back as spare parts was the 47, roughly 47.
So, correct me if I'm wrong. We do not have a spare on the shelf.
No, we do not.
So the $2,500 repair to the spare, to have a spare, is what you think at this time would be prudent.
It honestly would be in my eyes because it would be here and be ready for us prior to any motor that we find.
And then you can research the others.
Yes, I can. And like I said, I have gone through, I'm in multiple companies looking at trying to find a motor that would work with our current system and our current voltage. That so far I'm hitting a brick wall with multiple companies. The only way to do anything would to be completely redo our aerators, go with a whole new system, and spend even more money than what.
So is there a motion to allow him to get the one repaired and then research the new ones at a later, to bring to the next meeting? Or do you want to table?
I would like to make a motion to have the one repaired because we have one go down. It's going to really hurt the city.
And not
Or at
only
least the
that,
sewer.
yeah, it'll end up causing DNR to get involved in more.
What is the repair cost?
The repair cost on this one motor that we're looking at is $2,500. 1,400.
I'll second that.
Yeah. So we have a motion and a second to get the unit repaired and then to continue looking for some other newer items.
And bring folks to the next meeting.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Please turn off your cell phones. Quiet them onto no silence, please. So the remaining departmental reports. We have a motion to approve.
I will make a motion to approve the departmental reports.
Okay, thank you. We have a motion to approve and a motion and a second to approve the departmental reports. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. North Ward. Alderman Shannon?
Yeah, check out. Few things.
You
I would
want
like-
to talk loud, so I can
Oh.
hear you now.
I would like to look at getting RFBs, request for bids, to repair and reactivate our city website. I think this is important that we do this, and we would also want to get a request for bids for an actual web manager or administrator. It's all done off-site, it's all secure. The issue I think we've had in the past, Rocco probably remembers, with it not being updated and just, it was helter-skelter. I would like to make a motion to at least get bids in to see what it would cost to get this back to being viable. Just take it from there.
I'll second that motion just for bids.
Mm-hmm.
Motion has been made and seconded to request for bids for website generation and maybe a web manager as well. All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anything else? Alderman Shannon?
Yeah, second, and I mentioned this at the workshop, and that's our dangerous building ordinance. I know we have one, in that mountain of stuff in there. I haven't been able to get it to read it, but I believe it's just missing one key crucial point that we could actually then maybe take care of a lot of the buildings that are here that are now abandoned, dangerous. We have, lack of a better word, vagrants in that, camping out in them. I think it would be worth our time to investigate this. I was involved with it in Stockton back in 2004 when they originally did an ordinance like this. One thing we'd need to do once we actually amend it, modify it, whatever, and it might be just fine. But we need it codified, which would have to go to you first, correct?
Sure. I mean, if we can get a copy of what you have, I mean, you have lots of good examples for other similarly sized cities that have a dangerous building ordinance. Also, on the vagrancy side, I mean, lots of city codes have a vagrancy ordinance that is enforceable. So if those were the two issues, I mean, we certainly can look at that. If I can get, I'd have to look in our code book. We currently have all the copies of the sections of the city ordinances that relate to law enforcement. I don't know if that made the cut, and Chief Snow and I can get together and make sure, but.
Well, I think it kind of went by the wayside. There was actually someone that I believe was a building commissioner or something, or inspector for a bit here. If I remember correctly. Yes. Oh. But I think once that ended, it just kind of went by the wayside, but there's.
So, do we need a motion to have you review those, or just send over the information and then you send it back to us with a ordinance and documentation?
I would do so.
Okay. So, Gary, if you want to get that information, maybe to Donna, and then she can scan it and send it over to the attorney.
Oh, that's not a problem, but like I said, we have an ordinance in our books somewhere.
Well, we need to scan both of them.
Right, and then we can see, I have a feeling it's missing just one little key element, which would be an easy amendment or addendum. Another would be, we've discussed this when we were doing interviews and that, to advertise for an assistant clerk. Be basically part-time, start to learn. Both sides, you know, utility clerk, the city clerk, fill in where it's needed, because right now, there's things where it hurts, even if it's just for a few days. Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, city utility clerk. Well, no, it would be a general clerk that would work goes into both rooms, offices, departments, whatever you want to call it. One to learn the system.
I don't see how we can fund that if we can't fund the pool.
Yeah.
That don't make any sense.
The police force, so.
We can't hear.
The police force has a big budget. This would come out of what our general, whatever, admin.
It's still be general, but it's more ad, because city clerk Donna Johnson is part-time, so we're going to half of those.
Speak up.
We can't hear anybody. That's why we're raising our hand. We can't
It's a
hear.
public meeting, the public should be able to hear.
So what Alderman Shannon is asking is that we hire an extra part-time person to help cover both offices and be basically an administrative type assistant. Alderman Thomas was asking if it would be clarified that, because our current city clerk, Donna Johnson, is part-time. So if the other half of her budgeted wages would go to another person, that's where that budget line would be amended from.
It's not exactly what I said. I just asked if
Okay.
How are we gonna afford
Can you
another
talk louder,
employee
please?
without having a full police force? Money rounds, why would we have a full police force?
And I don't know.
At least 2 police officers.
Would you be willing to run the budget numbers? That's,
I would love to see some
Absolutely.
numbers. Yeah.
um, we can definitely run some of this.
I want to make sure there's enough work that we're paying people to, I mean, I just don't know if there's enough work that needs to be done to pay somebody to have all these employees. That's my concern. I want to make sure that if we hire another part-time, that, we're able to keep them busy and they're not just sitting around on the taxpayer's dime. And at the end of the day, I want to make sure there's actually a job for them to do.
Right, well, we've always had 2 full-time people.
The one we thought used to be part-time. I don't remember. I thought back in the day, one of them was full-time and one was part-time
Maybe
at one
4
point in
years
time.
ago, utility
Okay.
was both full. When Mark Keller was here.
Okay.
Okay, so Gary, that is something that we can look into and just run the numbers. We don't have to decide anything, but we can take a look. That's what budgets are for.
The last thing I have on my list is, need to create or recreate a contractor and vendor list. I don't believe we have anything current. This is part of our problem is it's gotten to the point that we're just using who we're familiar with as opposed to getting bids. I believe that would be a good thing. There are contractors, there are other vendors, other places where you can get yours, equipment, supplies, so forth. But in order to do that, we have to reach out and see if they're even willing to be placed on a vendor list. And make sure they have the correct credentials in order to be on that list.
I think that's more of a office operations thing. I don't necessarily think we have to vote on it. It's just something that we can set in and says, we would like a vendor list. So then we want to touch it. So not necessarily a motion. You have anything on your sure.
I do have a few things. The first thing we discussed was the community building, and that Life Church was not able to use it for the art event. They did speak to Carl, and he did ask to see if they would still be able to use the tables out of there, if we can move them to the back like we've done before, and they have access to use the tables.
Needing chairs too, or just?
No, just tables.
Just the tables.
Or for
For
the pavilion over here.
yes, for
Summer
Saturday.
bash.
Yes, and then the bathrooms and everything are going to be unlocked for them. Okay. So there's that. And then I also had community reach out wanting to know about if we could bring back up the discussion of cleanup days to do something in our town. So I'm bringing it back up. Maybe we can start brainstorming for next month to get together to get some dates to plan a community cleanup day.
Yeah, we had that on the budget line item to look up and see how much it was gonna run. I have no idea right now what tonnage of the landfill is. So I need to check those numbers and see maybe how many yards we can actually do. Okay. So yes, we can start talking about cleanup.
And then I'm just gonna hand these on down and let Robert take it from there. If you guys could each take 2 and pass it down.
We're gonna introduce articles of impeachment against Alderman Amber Winkler. Article 1, breach of confidentiality.
Can you
whereas
speak
Alderman-
louder? I can't hear you.
Articles of impeachment against Alderman Amber Winkler. Article 1, breach of confidentiality, whereas Alderman Winkler of Humansville, Missouri has breached her duty of confidentiality by knowingly releasing unapproved closed session minutes to the general public, therefore jeopardizing integrity of the municipal government and undermining public trust. Article 2, abuse of powers, whereas Alderman Amber
Amber Winkler has abused her position of authority by the publicly making inappropriate statements about citizens, specifically former elected officials Mike and Don Rocco, wherein she implied a willingness to misuse her position as a medical assistant to withhold medications from Rocco consisting of gross abuse of power and endangering the well-being of a member of the community. Article 3, violation of ethics standards. Whereas Alderman Amber Winkler actions in releasing confidential information and making threats against citizens violates the ethical standards expected of a public official, thereby demonstrating a profound disregard for the responsibilities entrusted to her by the citizens of Humansville, Missouri. Article 4, failure to uphold the oath of office. Whereas Alderman Amber Winkler has breached her oath of office to faithfully execute her duties as an alderman and mayor pro tem of Humansville, Missouri by releasing closed session minutes without approval and making threats against citizens, thereby bringing dishonor upon the office and undermining public confidence and the integrity of the municipal government. Article 5, dereliction of duty. Whereas Alderman Amber Winkler's action constitute a dereliction of duty by failing to prioritize the best interest of the community and instead engage in behavior that saves her personal agenda, thereby neglecting her duty to uphold the principles of transparency and accountability and respect for the rule of law. Article 6, damage of reputation. Whereas the release of closed session minutes by Alderman Amber Winkler has caused damage to the reputation of two other aldermen, Alderman Robert Thomas and Ashley Albright. Article 7, retaliation against whistleblower. Whereas Alderman Amber Winkler retaliated against former city clerk Tiffany Jenkins, who acted as a whistleblower by reporting election interference and fraud by threatening disciplinary action through written reprimand, resulting in Ms. Jenkins' immediate resignation. This action stifled transparency and caused an investigation into the position of potential election misconduct to be opened by the Missouri State Secretary of State, thereby further compromising the integrity of the municipal government. Articles 8, neglect of duty as a mayor pro tem. Whereas Alderman Amber Winkler neglected her duty as mayor pro tem of Humansville, Missouri by willfully refusing to perform her responsibilities and instead ordering Ashley Albright and Robert Thomas to fulfill her mayor pro tem duties until the new mayor was sworn in. This neglect of duty done in retaliation for the firing of utility clerk Sophie Piper and city superintendent John Hopkins demonstrates a lack of commitment to the welfare of the community and an abuse of authority for personal vindication and actions sought. In consideration to the foregoing, we, the undersought members of the City Council of Humansville, Missouri, hereby submit these articles of impeachment against Alderman Amber Winkler to implore our fellow council members to uphold the principles of justice and accountability by supporting the removal of Alderman Winkler from office. This action is sought to avoid litigation that would be brought against Alderman Amber Winkler by Ashley Albright and myself. If not immediately removed from the board, a lawsuit could be brought forth against Alderman Winkler.
I would like to make a motion to start the
I would
impeachment
like to have
process.
some clarification, if you don't mind, before we make. Attorney Elliott, what is the next step in this process?
Can we talk louder? I can't
Can
hear.
you, one more time and you're out.
Can anybody back here
No.
hear her?
I can't hear you. Want us to come to the meeting and we can't
You
hear
work for us.
I tried to microphone.
I will have order in this room. If
Then
you
speak
do not
up.
like
Speak
it,
up,
you
that's all we
the-
want. That's all we want. We want you to talk louder.
I will try.
Okay, thank you.
Do not speak again.
Excuse me? Talk louder. Everyone can't hear you.
Out.
No.
Please, chief. I want her out.
Can you continue?
I like her out.
What have I done wrong?
Nothing.
We can't hear you. I'm asking you to speak up. That's it. Many.
Numerous times.
Oh, my goodness.
Is the police chief not here? Chief Snow? Could you please come over here where I can see you?
Sorry?
Could you please come over here where I can see you?
I didn't do anything wrong. I just asked you to speak up. Can anybody back here hear her? Everyone raise a hand if you can hear her.
Okay.
They've been very kind, waving their hands, everything, trying to get your
Public
attention.
meeting, if they can't hear you, you can knock your gavel all you want, but this is a public open meeting. Regardless
We're allowed to
of
be
whatever
here.
sides people are on, you have to speak loud enough, get your keg of water out and do it.
I can hear every word, I'm sorry. I haven't missed a word.
Okay, great.
No, where's the roll call? Where's the roll call?
Now,
Yes or no?
Yes.
Gary? Yes or no?
Yes.
There's a lot of-
Meeting's adjourned.
Yes or no on
This
what?
is how it
What
goes.
motion? What motion?
Adjourning
You
the
can't
meeting,
make a
that's
motion.
all around the board.
motion to adjourn the
What about their motion that she asked for clarification on? That's not the motion that was on the
Because
table.
I asked.
No, you asked a
Elliot
clarifying question.
for clarification and she answered.
No, I didn't. I said, can you speak up? We can't hear you. I did not answer. I
There was
can
a
play back the
motion.
recording if you want. I did not answer.
Our community is silenced, our board members are silent, everybody is being silenced.
And you assisted us.
Like, I can't now because the meeting is adjourned.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to talk to the board, but I'm not gonna have this discussion in front of everyone. I
So
mean,
you adjourned a meeting when there was a motion.
Yeah, there was a motion
you
in the
asked for
middle, how could she
clarification.
adjourn it?
So,
I'll call
Because
for
I
the
made
one
the
at three.
motion.
I'll call them all.
I'll
I'm not asking you
Yeah.
to be respectful, I was respectful to you. I'm
second
asking
on
our
that motion,
attorney.
had you not interrupted with your clarification question?
Yeah, I got it online.
I believe that. Right, wrong. I'm happy with that.
Can you clarify, just because this is what we keep running into, is we're getting neglected from doing our duty.
I did not answer. I did not answer with clarification. I just asked.
And you got an alderman talk about my personal stuff in open business here.
I've never heard you.
You weren't here.
You weren't here.
This is ridiculous.
So, I wasn't here, Gary wasn't here.
Why are you addressing him now when you couldn't address him earlier?
Meeting's over.
All we were doing
You
was
guys are
raising our
chicken and doing
hand
the right
to
thing.
speak up because we
That's
can't hear
fine.
you. There are several elderly people back there who can't hear anything either.
Microphones they used to have.
I'm sorry, we don't have any microphones.
They want everybody censored.
Bring you some? I can bring you some.
They want everybody censored.
What, hon?
They want everybody censored.
Oh, I'm
I'm
guaranteeing
speaking
it.
as a taxpayer now
I
because
won't be.
I can.
This is ridiculous. What about everybody posting?
I don't post nothing, but I'll tell you one thing, I'll find out the truth.
It's always.
I did not answer her question. All I asked was for her to speak up. That's all I said. She said speak up.
Fire all of them, start over.
Amen.
I mean, I think that honestly,
Well, we gotta make it.
whether that
something. We gotta start something.
that Mike
we
Parsons
would like
can
to
do
proceed
something.
with it. We have every right to do so, and we would like to.
Yeah, and I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about it. I don't know.
Yeah, well, it's.
So April, we don't have it.
Well, you make a motion.
No.
Each day.
Well, I mean, when you
Meeting's
see,
over.
that's Steve. When you accept the bribe, that's a bribe. The mayor got hers, the other three got theirs, you know.
Will you be attending the next workshops? Because I personally will not be attending without your presence. So I am requesting that you attend any and all meetings that we have from here on out.
I don't know, I'm gonna have to, y'all, I'm gonna have to.
It's time for the lawyers.
But I'm good.
That's fine.
You ain't going.
So,
I'd like to know, how do we do, the mayor, how do we go about doing that?
There's a petition you can sign
Hey,
for it.
one last thing I'm gonna say as a community member and not an alderman is you guys have a voice.
Obviously.
Okay, but
We
you guys
don't.
can take it beyond this. You guys have a voice. You can reach out to the state. You could go higher up. You could get petitions and you could get them signed. You need to have a state audit. You need to go above because obviously you're being shut out in every way. And I'm speaking as a taxpayer and a homeowner.
but actually, what do? You guys have already tried to get an audit and they closed it down. How do they go about that?
Enough people bitching, somebody's gonna speak up.
Good. You're accusing of breaking the law. I hope you can. It's like Mark, the little minion Mark, who got in my face, called me a bitch on city property. I couldn't laugh him off. Of course you don't. Of course you don't.
I witnessed that. I was out there. Robert was out there.
Right? Yeah, that's right. Talk away.
Ready?
This is why nothing gets done here.
Does she not think people can't hire attorneys and pay attorneys to write articles of impeachment? Why are other petition? Yeah, yeah. Yeah, she'll just say it's because she was found out about the Secretary of State. I have to work with her, all of our. She's not going to.
Maybe for low nets. I think I won't be down here.
I told you, she should.
Yeah.
I was no, she was talking about. Actually, I just wanted to hear.
Very rarely do I ever go with dollars.
Oh, cool.